right, but let's begin with the terrific documentary that debuted last night on ESPN, Last Dance, and the Last Dance documentary about the 1997-1998 Chicago Bulls. That documentary is a diss track on then Bulls general manager Jerry Krause and team owner Jerry Reinsdorf. Yeah, in his 2-episode debut last night, Michael Jordan channeled his inner Drake and went back-to-back on Krause and Reinsdorf. Then Scottie Pippen joined in, and he channeled his inner hit him up, Tupac Shakur. I'm sorry. He channeled Ice Cube, his inner Ice Cube, and went completely no Vaseline. I'm glad Michael set it off. Used to be hard, now you're just wet and soft. And then finally, here comes Phil Jackson in to channel, oh my God. Phil Jackson went completely off. He channeled his full hit him up, Tupac Shakur, and said, who shot me or who fired me? But you punks didn't finish. Now you're about to feel the wrath of a menace. Last Dance is straight ether. My God, they went full-blown Nas last night. That was straight ether. 2 episodes in, and it seems clear Michael Jordan and ESPN are intent on educating the sports public on the greatest sports crime since the Boston Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees for $25,000. Krause and Reinsdorf treated Michael, Phil, and Scottie like the easily disposable and replaceable commodities that they weren't. They broke up the Bulls when Jordan was still in his prime. By refusing to financially commit to Jordan's beloved coach and perfect sidekick, Krause and Reinsdorf forced Jordan into a second retirement at the age of 34 when he was still the reigning MVP and world champion. But don't wrongly conclude that Krause was primarily motivated by ego. No, this is about the shared greed, incompetence, and bigotry of Krause and Reinsdorf. This is about 2 guys who didn't get or respect Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. This is about an owner and a general manager who feed the narrative that management has no respect for its black employees. Yeah, I'm going all the way there. I know I don't like to go there all the time, but this is a prime example. Krause and Reinsdorf viewed Jordan and Pippen as commodities to be exploited rather than assets to partner with. Krause and Reinsdorf were the anti-Red Auerbach. The legendary Celtics leader partnered with Bill Russell when he was the greatest force in the NBA, and then did the exact same thing for Larry Bird in the 1980s. Phil Jackson, to me, justifiably sided with Michael and Scottie. Krause and Reinsdorf were unbothered that they were financially exploiting Scottie Pippen with a 7-year contract that paid him as the 126th highest paid player in the NBA. Scottie Pippen, it was made clear in this documentary, the dude was a country bumpkin from Arkansas, huge family to support, dad and brother both paralyzed. My God, he was naive, it was fear-based, he signed a bad contract. Any smart businessman, any respected sports franchise owner would have reworked that deal for Scottie Pippen and kept that dynasty rolling for 15 straight years. This was a crime. Krause and Reinsdorf destroyed one of the greatest dynasties in sports. They undermined Michael Jordan's passion for the game, forced this dude into a premature retirement at age 34. They stopped Michael Jordan from reaching his full potential. The Last Dance is an absolute tragedy. I can't wait to continue watching it. I hope they keep putting a clown suit on Krause and Reinsdorf. All right, Marcellus. I think I've said all I got to say on this. What was your takeaway from last night?
Hey, you broke it down. I thought your Whitlock was going to be longer than the damn documentary. You kept going. You were going to every granular level, which Hey, it was such good theater that I'm glad you went there, and I will continue going there as well. The biggest takeaway for me is really looking at this dynasty and realizing, like you have seen with other dynasties, that destruction is around every corner, no matter how perfect it may seem, no matter how perfect the results may be. This took me back to looking at the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s or the Shaq and Kobe Lakers of the 2000s, and realizing that no matter how dynastic you are, you don't need to work on team chemistry as much as you need to work on giving players credit. And that could be intra-team, player to player, or executive, front office to player. Whatever that may mean, the egos, because these players are alpha males and they just want to be properly appreciated. And you saw in this documentary that there were some issues with that in terms of appreciation. Michael Jordan and his relationship with Krause, Scottie Pippen, even Michael Jordan. If you start to really peel it back, there are more than a few times Michael Jordan in the documentary pointed the finger at Scottie Pippen as doing the wrong thing, even though Scottie Pippen was only doing the right thing for himself. So team chemistry really comes to mind as well. Some lighthearted moments as well when Michael Jordan talked about the cocaine traveling circus. It took me back to my rookie year and almost to a beat. Our first road trip, I think it was to Seattle. I was a rookie, green from Columbia, and I walked in a room and I didn't see the cocaine, but every other thing I saw, the women, the weed, and I probably didn't see the cocaine because I saw the women first, and that was enough for me. It was the same thing, and I was just like, wow, this whole elevation to the next level doesn't just mean on the field, on the court. It meant in life as well. So it was so enjoyable to see it, to peel back the layers and to witness the depth of no matter how great things look on the surface, you got to deal with a lot of issues.
Listen, I've heard other people analogize this to Kobe and Shaq and the Lakers and that breakup. I've seen people analogize it to the Dallas Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. I just don't see the full analogy there because Krause and Reinsdorf were driven by greed and incompetence and really a lack of respect, in my view, for Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson had a dispute. Shaq and Kobe had a dispute, and the Lakers didn't manage it well. Those things, to me, are understandable. But when you have the greatest dynasty going in sports, and you have someone like Michael Jordan, who all he wants to do is compete and win. You've got two guys, Pippen and Jordan, from great families. This is perfection. And I've heard people defend Jerry Krause or Reinsdorf. They told Pippen not to sign that contract. So what? After he signed it and then proved to you that he was more valuable than that, you've got to protect the dynasty and understand this was a kid that was naive, outside his realm of expertise, and signed a bad deal. Fix the deal. Keep the thing going. This dynasty is awesome to me. Krause and Reinsdorf, to me, are just like the Boston Red Sox trading away Babe Ruth. It's one of the dumbest things we've ever seen in sports. It so goes against what Red Auerbach did with Bill Russell, what Bob Kraft did with Tom Brady for 20 years, what Red Auerbach did for Larry Bird. When you have kids this special that have all these unique qualities and are all in on just playing the game and winning, you do anything to keep it together. You don't sit there. Reinsdorf said on TV, I never renegotiate a contract, or don't come see me about a contract. That's an arrogance and a level of stupidity I just don't get. They ruined something great and need to. I'm glad they're being vilified by this documentary.
Hey, look, I agree with your conclusion that they cut this short in terms of how great this team, this dynasty was. Of course, if you don't even go to a Game 7 in the finals, who are you to say let's blow this up and start to reboot when we don't even know if a team going into their 7th championship year was going to able to overthrow what the Bulls were. So I get your conclusion, but I don't get how you got there. You got to remember context matters in this situation. Scottie Pippen signs that deal, a 7-year deal in 1991. Just a few years removed off the NBA, coming off of tape delay. The money wasn't in the NBA just yet. Fewer than 10 players were making 8 figures when we're talking about this documentary. Fewer than 10 players. There wasn't money in the NBA like we see it now. So what happened in transition is that Krause Reinsdorf realized, one, it's a lot more money here and a lot more money coming, but Scottie Pippen didn't realize that. And in any situation in life, ignorance is no excuse. I love you, Scottie Pippen, but sorry, brother, you being ignorant to what was coming or ignorant to what your value was is not on Krause and it's not on Reinsdorf. And you got to also understand, when you are an executive, you did an amazing job when you got the second best player in the NBA to sign for $2.8 million a year. Like, don't put that on them. Put that on Scottie Pippen and unfortunate circumstances. I do see the parallels to the Cowboys. I see the parallels to the Lakers. This is all about once you have success, and this is the same thing that happens in general society. With luxury and success come many choices. And usually those many choices turn into complaints and turn into issues because you have an array of choices. You don't have to be in the situation or predicament you are. Even Michael Jordan stated that. I got choices, brother. Some of them may not be pretty. So for me, I see the parallels in all these dynasties that once they get comfortable and feel the luxury of their success, everybody start acting just a little different and things start to change.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.